on the other side of our studio, Emma James. And I repeat those words to you too. It is a disgrace that women get paid less, and they shouldn't. If it's an equal job, everyone should get paid the same, shouldn't they? Let's get down to what you've been talking about, which is Brazil and the fight against corruption, prompting outrage online from many people, many politicians, including Lula da Silva himself, of course, before the Supreme Court and on his way to jail on charges of corruption.
Yes, absolutely. Lula facing jail, but also talking about taking some legal action of his own against Netflix because of a new series that has just come out. The Mechanism, launched less than 2 weeks before that Supreme Court decision was due to be made. Take a look at a clip from the official trailer for it and see what you make of it.
Ibra.
Bingo. I found it.
Se ele falar, vai dificultar tudo.
It was the biggest money laundering scheme in the history of Brazil.
Now, in case you couldn't tell, it comes from the same people who created Narcos, the programme that was all about the Colombian drug lord Pablo Escobar. The director is José Padilla. He says it's been loosely inspired by true events. That's what it says on the official Netflix website as well. How loosely? Well, the first episode is called Car Wash, which is the same name given to the real-life corruption scandal, which tells you how closely, really, they're following one another. Lots of people reporting on this one. This writer on Bloomberg says that, yes, names have been changed, dates scrambled, characters embellished, but the director describes the programme as commentary of Brazil's current political state. So should we be holding it to a higher standard in terms of how accurate it should be? Well, it seems lots of people feel that it should be more accurate. The hashtag Cancela Netflix is trending. People saying boycott it, cancel it, delete it. This gentleman saying Netflix is trying to influence the next elections in Brazil due to take place in October. Another objector is Dilma Rousseff, herself an impeached former president. She says this amounts to character assassination and fake news. Now, she's written quite a lengthy piece on her website in which she says that it's underhanded and full of lies, neither fiction nor true to the facts.
And I imagine that there's a character in that series who resembles Dilma Rousseff.
Yes, and Lula has said that he's not going to accept it, that he may well take legal action. Padilla, though, has very little time, it would seem, for his critics. He's called the boycott plans or the calls on Twitter pathetic. As for Rousseff's allegations, he said it's written at the start of each episode, the facts are dramatised. If Dilma could read, we would not have a problem.
Oh, biting criticism there. Are we moving on?
We are.
A French politician's given himself a legal hangover. Probably a literal one too, I think, after being arrested during a rather drunken night out in Paris.
Yes, absolutely. And it's not really someone that many French people would have expected this to come from. Jean-Vincent Placé is a former Secretary of State, former head of the Green Party. He's taking a bit of a sabbatical from politics at the moment, which might end up being a permanent real layoff from politics, because he was arrested after hassling a young woman in a bar in Paris and then throwing around racially charged insults hither and thither. He asked this girl to dance for a friend. When she said no, he offered to pay her. When she still said no, he called her something pretty insulting, grabbed her by the arm. This is all the allegations, of course, being made at this stage. When a bouncer tried to step in, he then threatened to send him back to Africa and said that he has connections in high places. He then went on to hurl abuse at the arresting officers too, according to reports. He called them losers and asked them, do you know who you're talking to? Now, a lot of people seem to be enjoying poking fun at him because prior to this, he had been seen as rather a self-important character. In fact, he'd written a book some years ago that wasn't very successful, talking about trying to become a member of cabinet, entitled Why Not Me? Well, this cartoonist says, finally, we're talking about me. The one last interesting point here as well is his final thing that he's, or the most recent thing he's put on Twitter, which is a retweet of this tweet saying, it's been 10 days since I last drank alcohol, my skin is clearer, the dark circles are gone, I'm sleeping better, I'm really bored.
OK, we will see what happens to Monsieur Placé as that case develops. Fast food can be good food, it seems, apparently here in France, because they've been celebrating the humble burger.
They have indeed, with nothing less grand sounding than La Coupe de France du Burger.
That's the French Burger Cup.
French Burger Cup, exactly. This is the winning burger. I think it looks absolutely revolting, but I don't eat red meat. It is a rather bloodied looking affair. It's called the Childhood. It beat off 275 challengers to take the title.
Childhood?
Yes, in English for some reason, I don't know why.
L'enfance.
It contains Beaufort cheese, garlicky mushrooms, this bloody sort of burger patty, and the strange lumps in the bun are roasted nuts. Now, this is the gentleman who's created it, Nicolas Valjean, and what is really interesting about this is that it's not an expensive burger. You don't have to book months in advance because you can actually pick one of these up. He works out of a food truck that is parked up in front of an Intermarché supermarket down in the Gard region of southern France.
This is surreal. So this award-winning burger here in France, which, you know, got that cup, which looks like, you know, one of the French football trophies, it's sold out of a burger van in a car park.
Yes, absolutely. So you don't have to worry about dipping into your savings
amazing.
To have gourmet food in France. Now, if that one wasn't revolting enough for you, this was the runner-up. This, I think, is possibly the worst food item I've seen in my life.
What is it?
It contains camembert, andouille, which is those sort of revolting sausages made of pig innards.
Yeah, I know.
Bits of bacon as well. I really don't know what's going on with the burger bun or that sort of vomity-looking pile at the bottom. But if that's not bad enough, just finally on this one, this is called Return from the Marsh. Can you guess what it's made of?
Frog legs. Oh. Emma James, I feel rather queasy. Thank you very much indeed, Emma. Thank you very much for the Media Watch.